You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It's your host, Brian Fullerton, here hanging out with you guys. And we're actually joined in studio in the living room of Rancho Fullertano. We got my beautiful wifey for lifey.
Hi.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. You should keep talking for a quick minute, because can anybody see you bouncing on your ball right now?
No, nobody can hear me. Or
you
can't tell.
You can't tell. There's no voice flexion. I'm actually really impressed. I hit record because we're going to do a little podcast here about GIE+EXPO and the rundown. I want to get the ladies' perspective here too. So Liz is here, but you're jumping on the ball right now, up and down. I'm Baby's coming today?
Baby's coming. Not today.
Not today? We need about another week.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I know baby's on our time, right?
Our whole world's going to be messed up.
Oh, yeah. It's like, just baby can come in 2 more weeks. Just 2 more weeks. 2 more. Like you had 9 months.
It's like a 2 to 4 week window from Monday.
Basically, by the time this podcast...
Due dates are estimates. So the first person to ask me if we've had the baby yet, beyond family, gets to change the first blowout. So just warning, don't DM me.
Wait a minute. I have a question. Why do they call it 9 short months when it's technically 10 months?
I have no idea. It's the biggest lie.
That's a scam.
Such a scam.
It's basically 9 months and 4 weeks. I'm like, wait a minute, isn't that 10 months? Like, I'm not a rocket surgeon here, but that just doesn't make any sense to me. So what we want to do today, a little side note, welcome to the marriage podcast. By the way, you have been getting so many raving reviews and fans. People love hearing you more than me on the show. So we're officially changing it to the Elizabeth Fullerton podcast. We're going to call it Girl Power Hour here.
Girl Power Hour.
Yeah, because I don't know, something, but I did a podcast this morning and a coaching call already this morning. And both people said they loved hearing you on the show.
Aww.
And they're like, the best episodes are always with Liz. And
that's so nice.
I think outside of the people that listen to the show, all of you guys listening in, which we appreciate, I think also your biggest fan is Marty, Mr. Producer, because he basically tells me, get Liz on the show more often because their ratings go up. And he's a businessman. He's very astute. And he's like, listen, Fullerton, nobody cares about your rambling. Get your wife back on the show. And I'm like, well, it is the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast.
I am a Fullerton.
You are
legally.
a Fullerton. So maybe we can get you more on the show, and you should do some solo episodes and have a little tell-all, something like that.
Oh, God.
Maybe not.
Not a great idea.
The secrets go down with the ship. So what we want to do today is talk to you guys about GIE+EXPO.
Yeah.
Usually this time of year, people start making these kind of episodes or YouTube videos just to kind of help people get the lay of the land about this huge trade show. And you guys have all heard everybody's got a code that's promoting it to save 50% off. And by the way, full disclosure, there's a little kickback there. That's why everybody promotes their code. So if you guys, here's one thing that we always say. We're Christians, we tithe. And so we always tithe to where we get fed. Right, that's where you should give back if you're a Christian, in my opinion, is where you get fed. So if your local church is what feeds you, then tithe there. If you get, fed from Joel Osteen, tithe to Joel Osteen, okay? For us, my suggestion is use the code of the person who's giving you the most food, whoever's feeding you, right? So it's not in competition to me. I don't care if you use my code, Paul's code. I don't even know who else has got a code.
It's like pick your Avenger.
Yeah, pick your Avenger. Hey, Black Widow came out this weekend. You want to go see that?
I would go for some popcorn.
We should really think about this, like maybe tonight or tomorrow.
Ooh, we could have popcorn for breakfast. It might be our last chance to have popcorn for breakfast in the movie theater.
Yeah, and I go for the pretzels.
The baby for a while.
I go for the pretzels and the cheese. I'm a glutton for the pretzels and the cheese. And then you love the popcorn. But we can't do what's the one? We do MJR.
We do MJR.
We can't do Imagine.
Imagine has crappy popcorn.
Yeah, they're butter.
To make it healthy.
They're butter.
Like olive oil.
Yeah, they're plastic.
I don't want olive oil. I want fake plastic. Give me all the MSG.
I love the pretzel bites.
I haven't had any swelling in this pregnancy so far, but that popcorn will probably do it.
We should go. We could see Black Widow. Your girl ScarJo, right? ScarJo.
Oh, my girl.
Her and her catsuit running around all over the place, doing her little scissor kick, taking down seasoned 250-pound grown men assassins. But don't worry, she's got 2 9mm pistols, and she's gonna pow.
Sounds like you're jealous or intimidated.
I'm not. Are you projecting? I'm not. Anyway, we're losing half of you. We're gonna try to keep it on point. But GIE+EXPO. Use the code for whoever feeds you. I don't care. Use mine. Use Paul's code. It does save you 50%. But in all transparency, I will also say this: the door entry fee, $10, $20, it does go up. I don't know when early bird pricing, if you will, whatever they call that, goes up, but it does go from I think $20 right now, and then the code saves you half off, so it's $10. But it does go up. It goes up to 20s and 30s and 50s, and I think at the door it's like $75.
Oh dang.
Yeah. So, but they will still honor codes and all that up until like the last minute. So long story short, don't procrastinate, right?
Yeah, if you're going to go, get your ticket.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's give the lay of the land here. We're going to hear from today's show sponsors. Then we're going to go down the rabbit hole here. We're going to talk about just hotels and lodging and what to do, where to go, food, our favorite parts of the show. There's so much going on. There always is. Our goal is to do this in like a half hour or less. Okay. So we're already,
right.
I don't even know why I say that.
You always say that. Well, just give you a short, quick one. 2 hours later.
2,000 years later. But hey, these guys are on the mowers all day. And frankly, like I'm not a big fan of like the 10-minute podcasts. I listen to other people's podcasts. Not in the green industry, like other industries. And they like once they get to the show announcements and sponsors, like the show's already over. They give like one nugget and then the show's over. It's like a 12-minute episode. And I can't even start a lawn, Liz, and then listen to that. By the time
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? You have so many like movie like jokes, by the way, like that you mix into all of our content, like the Blower Wars videos.
The thing is, I don't remember what movies they come from. They're just in my brain.
like a true movie buff that you are. What was the one you did in Blower Wars, by the way? Say hello.
Oh, I'm still getting comments about how people thought I was high or drunk, or either people think I'm high, drunk, and annoying, or like pretty fun. Like it's very black or white on that video.
Well, you're pretty fun being high, drunk, and annoying. Say hello to my little friend. So we're going to give you guys the lay of the land. I don't know what we're transitioning to, other than every time Liz is on the show, the ratings go through the roof. So now, now it's the official Liz Fullerton show. But let's hear from Marty, Mr. Producer, about all the show updates, sponsors, and announcements. Again, we do our best to bring you guys the podcast Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we couldn't do that without the quarterbacking from Mr. Producer down in the ATL, who runs our show, and a couple other guys in the industry. So we really do appreciate all the work that he does. So let's hear from him, and then we're going to go down the rabbit hole a little bit more about GIE+EXPO, help you guys out with getting there, all the details, all the info coming right on up.
Here's an idea, since Liz loves the movie so much. How about creating a YouTube video channel called Baby Reacts to the Movies? While watching, say, Gladiator, Liz could somehow make the baby cry when Commodus comes on the screen or throw up during the violent scenes. Because I really don't have much of a life, I've actually started watching these reaction videos to Jaws or Saving Private Ryan. It's quite interesting, and it's almost like having friends again. Well, enough with the free ideas. Let's pay some bills and get you back to the podcast.
Hey, Lenny Magno with Exmark here with some food for thought when it comes to choosing the right zero-turn mowers. What do you value in a zero-turn mower? Productivity, reliability, cut quality, or a combination of each? At Exmark, we're constantly listening to our customers to ensure our Laser Z mowers deliver the right features, productivity, and uptime performance to help them grow their business. Visit Exmark.com to learn about the innovations that make the Laser Z the green industry's most trusted zero-turn mower.
You know why your back hurts and your posture sucks? Because you don't have Darwin's grip for your trimmer. Now you can stand up straight, reducing fatigue and strains, and even achieve precise trimming by getting you closer to the line. Save 10% with Brian's 10 at darwinsgrip.com.
All right, let's go right back into GIE+EXPO. What did you just say 2 seconds ago? You want to tell him?
No.
You want to tell him? I hit the mute on the mics, and you're not wearing any deodorant, are you?
I just got out of the shower.
Yeah. Why did you not put deodorant on yet?
You know, it's complicated when you're pregnant. You have to put lotions. Lotions.
You want to talk about your? We're going to talk about Expo today, I think. But dude, when you don't put on deodorant until you exactly leave the house. Little. Your
armpits are supposed to be completely dry before you put deodorant on.
That's what a towel's for. You dry off though.
It's not the same.
Liz Fullerton Exposed. Literally, you don't leave that. Somebody's going to come up to you now at Expo and be like, hey, did you get deodorant on?
Hey, stinky.
All right, so let's talk about this is what happens when like we're trying to throttle the information, right? What do they call that? The highlight reel? Like, paint this beautiful picture. Every time you're on the show, it's like Fullerton Exposed. So, all right, GIE+EXPO. this was going to be, what is this, our 4th or 5th year going?
Yes, your first year of YouTube, we did not go.
Right. That was 2016. You got to bring the mic up a little bit there.
Sorry,
there you go, babe.
Is that better?
Yeah, because they can't hear from your chin. I remember.
Bouncing.
Yeah. 2016 or 17 was our first year. I'm trying to think because we had a friend that had a wedding over in Rhode Island. I think I was on YouTube. I might have had a couple thousand subscribers. I don't even know. So we actually didn't go. I wanted to, but it was the same week as our friends that were getting married, and they were getting married on a Friday or something.
Yeah.
So we had to go out there like Wednesday, Thursday, and I was trying to fly back and figure out logistics. It just wasn't going to work. So GIE+EXPO, we've been for, like I said, 3 or 4 years now. It was postponed and canceled last year because of COVID and all that mess. So this year, they're coming back with a vengeance, right? So the groundswell, the hype, the excitement, it's building. It's the biggest trade show of the year.
I really missed it last year. Like when you first brought up like GIE, I was trying to understand what the heck you were talking about. We're going to go to this expo about cutting grass, like with equipment. Like that sounds terrible. It's always on our anniversary. Our wedding anniversary seems to be every GIE.
October 18th.
Yeah, this year it's not, but we'll still, I think, be in Louisville. And yeah, it was really hard to understand like what the heck it even was. You talk about a trade show and, you know, equipment. It's kind of hard to get your wife on board. Like, oh yeah, babe, that sounds real exciting, especially for our anniversary. But it's really cool. And I really missed it last year.
That's how you know you're a good salesman, when you can convince your wife to go to a lawn care trade show on your anniversary.
I think you booked a cruise like immediately following GIE.
Yeah, we normally try to take a family trip or cruise the 3rd week of November after cleanups are done, Launchpreneur Academy is done. So GIE+EXPO, let's zoom out on the Google map. I always talk about the big macro perspective and picture here is it's the largest trade show of the year for our industry. So the Green Industry Expo is don't quote me on exact stats, but the indoor what do you call it? Exposition center is like 1 million square feet. That's at the Kentucky Expo Center. So if you've ever been down there, there's a huge basketball arena called Freedom Hall.
Freedom Hall with
the Kentucky Expo. Yeah. And so the indoor facility is like 1 million square feet.
It's so much bigger than I ever thought.
Yeah, literally to go from like one end to the other, it takes you half an hour. I mean, just of walking, and that's if you don't get stopped by 10 lawn bros or you see your sales your sales rep at your company booth like Toro or Skag, etc. So the indoor booth, it's like 1 million square feet. The outdoor section or portion is like 40 acres.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Which our first year, I remember being inside and like, oh wow, this is so crazy. And you're like, yeah, there's outside too. And I think we made it out there the last day. And I'm like, holy crap, this is the other entire half of the show is outside. It's nuts.
It's so big because a lot of you guys know, like we have a dealer called Weingarts and they're huge and they have a, I don't know, maybe a 10,000 square foot storefront. So there's 60 mowers out on the floor and tractors. And a lot of you guys have small town, dealers where you have 3 or 4 units from one brand, maybe 2 brands. Maybe you have Exmark and Cub, or maybe you have Skag and Ferris or something like that. And you got 6 units on the floor to pick, and then they got to order your unit in, which might take a week or two. And so from that perspective, you're like, oh, it's like I have my little small town dealer, and they sell steel in Exmark. Right. Awesome. And then, so you don't know how big the industry is. I was just talking to somebody earlier this morning who was doing a coaching call, and he was asking about Expo if I should go. And I said, well, it's of course up to you, but he was a younger kid. And I said, the cool thing that my suggestion was why you should go was just to get perspective of the industry. Mm-hmm. I said, when you're out there in the thick of it, into the thick of it. It's all in there. When you're cutting grass and you're like mowing lawns and your head's just down and you're just grinding and hustling, and you're like, I got this little $50,000 or $100,000 or $500,000 a year business. You're doing good, but you really don't know what you're a part of.
Yeah, it's hard. We talk about this all the time. Like being an owner operator specifically can be so isolating and lonely. Like you don't know. You might see another long crew or whatever, might have a buddy in the business, but beyond that, like who do you associate with? Like, how do you get perspective on the industry as a whole without going to events like this?
And you don't know like what you're really a part of.
Right.
Because
how do you network?
Yeah, I mean, when you go to the GIE+EXPO, it is $100 billion with a B industry. It's gigantic, and when you're there, you see the Toros, the X Marks, the Skags, and I don't want to leave anybody out. You start naming names, you got to name everybody. You know, I mean, like you got like Wright and Ferris and by the way. It's crazy because, like Liz said, not only do they have the indoor booth, but they have the outdoor booth.
The amount of money that these companies throw at their booths too, it's insane. It's like the auto show here. Like it's crazy.
And I think that's something that where we kind of had perspective, but didn't have perspective because we go to the auto show, and the auto show, the NIAS, North American International Auto Show, it's huge. I mean, companies spend millions of dollars on these booths, and you're like, this is incredible, right? And then you go to GIE+EXPO, and it's the same thing, dude, but about lawnmowers. It's the craziest thing. So
it sounds so nerdy, but it's so cool.
Yeah. So my whole perspective is that you don't really know what you're part of. You don't really know what you're doing in the industry until you've really been there and you see this plethora of equipment and people realizing that not only do the companies make money in the industry, the people that are going there make money in the industry. You see the Bright Views and the Brylars and all these different teams and all the different companies and the executives, and they're all in khaki pants and sport coats. And what they're doing is they're shopping to buy 100 units of something and 50 units of this. And they're looking to put in an order of 25 John Deere tractors that are $60,000 to mow municipality highways and freeways, right? And you realize, like, dude, this is bigger than my own little lawn care business.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like we had Alicia with Brex Enterprises talk about imposter syndrome at Together in the Trades recently.
Yeah.
And it's hard when you're out by yourself and you have like your brother-in-law giving you a hard time about your business. Like, oh, you have this little peon like lawn. Oh, you're going to mow lawns for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And when it is just you, it's hard to get in like perspective, like I was talking about, on how big the industry is, how far you could take it, how shiny and sparkly and cool and just like really into it you can get. And when you go to environments like this, you really realize just how big like the green industry world is and how many different places you can take your business, and it really refreshes you.
It really does. It's a great time. I like what you just said there. Like, it really charges you up because we're all coming in exhausted. We're not coming in hot.
It's at the end of the season. Everybody's dragging, worried about if you're like us, fall cleanups, and then we're gonna get the cleanups done before the snow comes.
Yeah, and by the way, so the two practical things here. One, everybody always asks us lately, GIE+EXPO or Launchpreneur Academy. And my attitude is both, because GIE+EXPO is a great place to network, see the equipment, see what's coming down the pike, see where the industry's headed. You know, battery powered equipment, autonomous robot, lawnmowers, all this cool product, but with respect to GIE+EXPO, it's not there to help you have a successful company.
They're two completely different things. One's a trade show, and one's where you go and actually like learn
how to make money with your company.
Yeah.
So Launchpreneur Academy is our event that we do in November. Tickets will be on sale in the next couple of weeks here at launchpreneuracademy.com. And so we have some heavy hitters coming into that. But if I have some people ask me, like, which one is better to go to, like thinking that it's the same event. And I just want to give perspective so there's no confusion. They're totally different.
Yeah.
And I know they're kind of back to back, a month apart. And it's an investment. It's a couple $100 to go, once you add up hotels and travel and or a flight. But yeah, it's an investment. And it's an investment into you, your company, and your future. Now, Expo, here's my attitude. Go at least once, get the lay of the land. And maybe go every other year or every third year. I don't care. A lot of us, which is what we do now, is we make it a vacation.
Yeah, we do. And I honestly didn't realize how much there was to do in Louisville until we went down. Gosh, was it 2 summers ago?
A couple summers ago, yeah.
There's a lot you can do. So if you want to bring like the wife and kids, honestly, if you're trying to, the biggest question I always talk about getting is like, how do I get my wife like on board with the business?
Sure.
If you want to like have her dip her big toe into like the industry and the business in general, GIE+EXPO could be a really good starting point for that. If she is like working with you in the business and you want her to like take on a bigger role, I would say probably Launchpreneur Academy. But,
sure.
You can take the kids, you can, do a day or two at the show and then do a day or two, exploring Louisville and Kentucky. And there's a lot of fun stuff around.
The Muhammad Ali Museum, the Louisville, is it called the Louisville Slugger Museum?
Louisville. I don't know.
Louisville. There it goes. I'm going to get a DM from somebody. Dude, you messed that up, bro. So the Louisville Slugger Museum was there. The restaurants and the food are really good.
Food is so good. And then I know 4th Street Live, like we're not drinkers or anything, but if you do want to,
partake in the festivities
and have a beer budget for that, there's certainly.
Yeah. So the number one thing is it's a lot of fun. You get to see what you're really a part of in the industry. Number 2, we don't have any notes here, by the way, but number 2, the Entrepreneur Academy and GIE are totally different events. Number 3, let's talk about practical things that you can do to make the event more fun and enjoyable. Because if you've never been, it can be a little overwhelming, like parking.
Your feet definitely hurt by the end of the day.
Well, let's start with hotel and food because. Okay. Again, we don't have any notes here, but here's what I will say. When you look at Louisville, it's really 2 parts. There's the downtown Louisville, like you were just talking about. That's the city center, and that's where 4th Street Live is, and that's where the Wednesday night concert is. There might even be a Thursday night after party concert. Yeah. Don't quote me. So if you like to eat and drink and be merry, I would suggest getting a hotel downtown. Now, you're going to have the nicer hotels there, like the Marriotts, the Sheratons.
The Galt House is like my favorite place to stay.
The Galt House, beautiful hotel. Those are going to be $200-$400 a night though.
Yeah.
So maybe if it's just you, that might not be the most economical option, right?
Our first year we stayed, it was like a red roof.
We stayed at some hellhole because we had no idea. I think Paul Jameson was telling his story once. He stayed at like some Days Inn or Red Roof Inn, and he's like, yeah, dude, between like the crime outside and like the bugs in the bed, he's like, never again. And Paul, like he's very foo-foo, right? So we gotta, Paul is, no, I'm just kidding. Paul will lay on a sack of potatoes just like we will. But the perspective is that downtown Louisville is really nice. All the food. So let's say you want to go to an after party. A lot of these companies will open up like these chalets and these booths, and you can go hang out and throw a couple back. That's fine. So maybe you want to be within walking distance or an Uber or a cab.
Yeah.
And maybe you do want to stay out till 2:00 in the morning. That's cool. My suggestion would be stay downtown. And if you want to go out to dinners, you can just walk back to your hotel. Literally every hotel is within a block or 2.
Yeah.
Now, let's say you want to just see the show and you want to get there early and just be around like the heat. What I will say is 15 minutes south or southeast is the Expo Fairgrounds. And so that's the Expo Center and the Freedom Hall, right? So there is a plethora of hotels around there too.
Yeah, and they're usually more affordable. They're a little bit more family, I would say, friendly.
That's like your Holiday Inns, your Spring Hill Suites, your Courtyard Marriotts, all those kind of hotels. So if you want to get up at 7 in the morning, and let's say Expo opens right up at 8 or 9 a.m., you can wake up, get the little continental breakfast with some of these hotels. You can,
some of them you can just walk right over.
I was just going to say, you can literally walk right over. They're maybe a half-mile walk, bring a backpack with some waters and some snacks. But that way you can be right at the show at 8, 9 in the morning, enjoy the show all day. And then when you're done, you don't have to spend 20 or 30, 40 minutes because the show gets done at 5:00. By the way, it's a metropolitan city, so you're dealing with
traffic.
Traffic can get a little crazy on
parking is hard too.
Yeah, traffic is a little crazy downtown Louisville and on the highways when everybody's rushing back at 5, 6 p.m. when the expo gets over. So if you have dinner reservations, I'm going to do dinner at 6 because the expo is over at 5. Maybe not. Maybe like 7, 7:30. That's just what we've learned. Like we do dinner a little bit later, 7:30, 8 o'clock, because you're always lingering after the show, meeting people.
I like to go to the hotel and like clean up and freshen up.
Take a half-hour cat nap, just freshen up, take a quick shower, because you're just sweating, your feet are hurting. You're
really walking a whole heck of a lot.
So that's the practical standpoint that we're talking about with Expo. Is if you want to do all the restaurants and the food and the fun and the parties, I would say stay down. This is just our story, our perspective. Stay downtown. If you want to be across the street, maybe at a Spring Hill Suites or a Holiday Inn, those rooms are going to be still $149, $199 a night, but they're half the price as compared to staying downtown at a Marriott or a Sheraton, right? So, so that's it. There's no right or wrong answer on the hotel stay, but let's do this. Let's talk a little bit more about what they're going to meet and see inside, right? We want to talk about all the different booths, all the different fun activities, and then of course some of the YouTuber events and social media events that also partake during that whole week. So let's do this. Let's change it up really quick. I'm going to get a sip of water here. We're going to hear from Mr. Padusa, get some more show announcements, updates, hear from the sponsors one more time. And guys, we're going to come right on back right after this.
For almost 40 years, landscape pros have trusted Exmark equipment to help them get the job done day in and day out. Hey, I'm Mike Mayfield, and as a product manager here at Exmark, I get the opportunity to listen to our customers and test new ideas for our products each and every day. We strive to make our mowers the most durable, comfortable, and advanced in the green industry. Exmark, engineered by us, trusted by landscape professionals, ready to work for you.
Hey gang, I'm Mr. Producer, and you may have come across this podcast because you're thinking about making the leap into starting your own mowing biz. Let me encourage you to consider getting Brian's How to Start Your Own Lawn Care Business training program over at LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com. Start your own lawn care business with information that'll just help lay a solid foundation that'll get you to profitability quickly. Here's what you'll get: a step-by-step approach to start your new business, how to create a roadmap and vision for your company. You'll learn how to shop and select the right equipment, discover the best strategies to market and gain customers, and of course, how to set up your back-end office and workflow. So grab that How to Start Your Own Lawn Care Business training program over at LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com today. And remember, use the promo code PODCAST to save 10%.
All right, guys. Well, let's just jump right back into it. Let's talk a little bit more about the day-to-day. You're my foot soldier, Liz, when it comes to planning. you're my logistical general here. So, and we got to be a little bit more planning.
This year's going to be different for us because we're going to have a baby.
We're going to have a newborn baby.
Yeah.
Right. So we're
just to see how this goes.
So we're my goal is to keep the same pace, but I'm going to be I feel like I'm gonna have you as my central nucleus, and then I gotta run away, come back, run away, come back. How's the baby?
Yeah. I think we're gonna bring one of our moms, grandma, with us, just so that
some hired help.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. So let's start with let's actually go into the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Let's just do a quick 10-minute recap of the schedule.
Sure.
That what we normally notice and see. So Wednesday, don't quote me on the hours; it changes every year. But usually Wednesday's the pre-show, the first part of the show. Sometimes
are they still doing dealer?
I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. Check the website, because in the past they used to do 12 to 4, then it was 2 to 6, and it was just different every time on Wednesday. So I don't even know if there's a Wednesday. We probably should look that up. But long story short, are you looking at me to look it up?
Yeah.
Well, so Wednesday is where we usually get to go in for a couple hours. But realistically, we go to dinner Wednesday night. We like to hang out with people. Sometimes we'll go hang out with the Equipment Defender folks. Mm-hmm. But if you want to go to dinner, right? I know it's already July, August. We're putting this episode out, but make reservations now.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but it's not a bad idea with so many people being in the city. Like we said, traffic, parking, all of that's crazy. Restaurants are full. So if there is a particular place, if you wanted to go to a nicer dinner, I would recommend making a reservation sooner rather than later. There's a lot of options down there too.
We got the dead space here because I'm on the phone here.
Are you looking it up?
I'm trying to look it up. You got to keep talking. What's your favorite places to go downtown for food?
I Eddie Merlot's was really good, but I think that they closed due to COVID. I don't know if they've ever reopened. It'll be interesting to see who's open. You know what I really like, not dinner related, but breakfast related, is wild eggs. We usually, I don't know if we're going to be able to do it this year, but we'll have a meetup the last morning of the expo, where we meet at Wild Eggs for breakfast before heading on over. But that's got really, really good food. You
want to do the Friday meetup, or are we going to think about that? That's a little early. It's tough with the baby this time.
Well, last time we couldn't fit everybody in the restaurant, so I don't know.
Dude, their schedule is it's just nonstop. I don't even know what the actual. Okay, so here we got Wednesday. Is this it? Oh, that's the Expo Move-In show. The trade show is Wednesday 11 to 7 for the indoors. And by the way, fact check this on GIE+EXPO.com. But I'm seeing Wednesday from 11 to 7, the outdoor is closed, which makes sense. Thursday, it's 9 to 5, indoor and outdoor. And then Friday, it's 8 to 2 on the indoor, and the outdoor closes an hour early. So 8 to 1. So there is a Wednesday portion, at least according to this timestamp on this part of the website. So again, 11 to 7, so you can't go outside anyway. So here's what I would say, shake hands and kiss babies, right? Get to meet all your friends, see everybody, go find your favorite company, maybe your SCAG guy, go see all the SCAG people, and then basically Thursday, Friday, go tear it up, because you got to get outside on Thursday. Mm-hmm. If you just wait till Friday, the excitement kind of dwindles. People are kind of they're kind of mingling back inside. So my attitude is meet all your friends on Wednesday, and then Thursday get outside as fast as you can. Because if you don't, you're never going to get outside. Right. So anyway, Wednesday we always go. We try to meet everybody, get to hang out, and then we want to see the show too. That's the tough part. Like being a YouTuber, everybody wants to shake hands and say hey, which is totally cool. Like we totally encourage that. By the way, if you do see us, like don't do the weirdo like look at me, but then like don't say hey to me thing.
I did this recently in Waco. There's Plaid and Poppies as an account I follow. She's like,
you did this.
I did the weirdo like point and then like look away. Like I was awkward. I saw her in one of the shops and
she's an Instagrammer with like 80,000 followers.
Maybe more than
or maybe a couple 100,000.
I don't know. She does like gardening. Her backyard's beautiful. I honestly don't even follow her that closely. It was just kind of like this, oh my gosh, I recognize somebody from the internet, pointed at her like a freak.
You literally physically pointed.
Waved and then turned away. And Brittany Hellman was next to me like, what is wrong with you?
Well, then you guys came outside and we're like, oh my God, there's an Instagram girl in there. Poppies and what's her name?
Plaid and Poppies.
Whatever. Her name is Plaid and Poppies. And so Caleb and I, like no fear, we're like, what's her name? Who is she? So I look her up on Instagram. I'm like, I actually know, like we know this chick.
She's from Michigan.
She's from Michigan. I said, well, I'm going back in there to say hey. So I literally like walk back in. I go, hey, my wife follows you on Instagram. And she's like, oh, thanks, y'all. Like she's
so sweet.
She was super kind. Then she actually followed us out because she went to get a tea, and you guys were in line for the big jar teas at
Alabama sweet tea.
Yeah, at Chip and Joe. But
I wish I had a Southern accent.
But don't it's any which way. But don't do the weirdo like wave, but don't come say
come
hey.
Say hi. Like
please.
The show is so much more like I can't think of it, like rich when you make friends, like when you like reach out and say hey and like make those connections and like there's nothing worse than going to a party and like not saying hey or like making a new friend and like you leave and you feel like a squid.
And there's times when we're busy talking to somebody else, but like linger, like stay, like
I usually
wait
try.
For 10 seconds.
I play a little bit of defense. Like when you're talking to somebody, if I see somebody like looks like they want to say hey, I'll usually like
engage you
and try and bring you over and
yeah. Because I just get stuck talking to so many folks too, which I want to do.
It'll be interesting with the baby this year to see what goes on. Please don't touch our baby.
Don't touch the baby.
Don't touch the baby.
No forehead kisses. No. But you can bring gift cards if you want to support.
You're terrible.
They say it takes a community to raise a baby. So we'll just get the PayPal. I'm gonna like wear a little beanie on her hat. It says like PayPal.com/
You're terrible. Like the bachelorette parties are doing like when they put their Venmo on the back of their car when they road
that's
trip.
so bad.
I think it's so fun.
That's so stupid.
You would. I'm gonna get stupid.
I'm gonna get a beanie that has a QR code, so if you scan it, you can like you can just donate $20 to the fund. You guys can see how expensive diapers are, by the way. Like, don't you want to be on the podcast? What's that? Who's this? Speak. Okay. We're doing a podcast, Teddy. Like
this is why we don't do it in the house.
I listen to Caleb Allman's podcast obviously every day, and they get who's the little one. Levi jumps on. He goes, "Hi, Moppy. Hi, Daddy." And Caleb's like, "Levi, I'm working. Like, you gotta go, bud." It's actually really adorable. But all right. So hey, we're recording a podcast here. Okay, you want to be on the podcast? Well, you can't be on the podcast. We're working here, and we have a professional audience here.
Very opinionated husky dog.
All right, do you want to take care of him for a quick second?
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm gonna go put some.
All right, so let's go back to the trade show schedule. Is the fact that let me just see if I can mute her mic. That way we don't get the interference, because my dog literally runs the show around here. You guys already know how I'm a softie. All right, so when we go back to the schedule for Wednesday, like I said, get the lay of the land. But come into Expo with my biggest suggestion is come with a list of things you want to see and do. I know it sounds kind of weird, but let's say you want to definitely see the Skag booth, definitely visit the Wright booth. You want to go see all the new Boss Plow stuff, whatever. That's cool. Just make sure you get a list of things you do want to see. Because here's why. If you just kind of like linger, and believe it or not, like time starts to fly. And here's why too, is that logistically it does take 15 minutes to like go to a certain booth. So here's what I would say. They used to have an app for the expo, and they probably have the map. You can get a map of the whole show floor. And that way you can make your list and not have to like walk all the way to the back right is Boss and then all the way to the front right is Right, just to realize, oh crap, I wanted to see the Equipment Defender guys and they're back by the Boss Plow booth. Does that make sense? What's that, babe? Just like Liz goes, route density. She goes, just like you optimize your route. So that's my biggest suggestion, because I wasted a lot of time my first year or two, literally going from the front of the show is usually the big companies. When you walk into the expo doors, you'll see all the big companies with the big budgets with the big booths. And then as you go to the back, it's the smaller booths and smaller companies. And as you go west, it opens up to kind of like those new up and coming companies and products and like little niche products, which is really cool. And then usually like the new hardscaping, landscaping, lighting, that kind of stuff is usually in the north wing of the show. Now, I always encourage people to get out to the north wing because it's always the newest and coolest stuff. And you got to make time to at least trek back over there at least once or twice. How's that going? Did you give them, what would you bribe them with this time?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter in the Kong?
In the Kong.
All right. So our dogs, that bought us about 20 minutes. So that's my biggest suggestion is have a list of things that you want to see. Is there anything specifically that you try to look for? Any of the companies like Isotunes or all those guys in the back? What do you like to see the most?
I always like where they have like there's the outdoor demo area, but I appreciate the indoor demo spaces. Like I think was it Steel that had the
trimmer thing? Yeah,
like I like the stuff that's in. I don't like being hot, and if it's raining, like just let me do something inside and it's cool.
The interactive displays.
Yes, thank you.
Cub Cadet had one where you could do like a digital it's like a flight simulator. You know,
Yeah.
like you were like riding the mower and it like took you on this whole like 20
It was a virtual
degree
reality thing, wasn't it?
That was Echo.
Echo
had
okay.
the virtual reality thing. All those things are really cool. By the way, we got to hit what you just said, weather.
Yeah.
Plan for everything.
Yeah.
Because
it could be super hot one day and then raining the next. I remember one year, like I should have brought like muck boots.
Dude, so that was the year we missed. Actually, we saw on Instagram. At least I think so. Did we go through a year when it rained?
Yeah, like the last day because we hadn't made it outside yet.
It was the last day.
And it was our last day to go outside.
We didn't go outside.
And it was just
I think we didn't even go outside that day.
Yeah.
But I think I saw on Instagram like a year or two before our first one, it rained the whole day. People still tell stories of this thing. I don't think we were there for that one, but literally the outside turned into like a mud, like a pig pen because it was so muddy. So bring work boots, bring jeans, maybe bring a raincoat. If they call for rain in the forecast, I don't know if it's just like Louisville or like a southern thing, but dude, if it does rain and storm, it's going to come down.
Rains.
And that's not fun.
No.
So my attitude is, that's why I say get outside first. If you got a nice day on Thursday, go outside. I used to be the opposite. I used to like just run around all day, see all the stuff inside on Thursday. Now I want to get outside on Thursday and then I'll go back in on Friday and see what's left over. You know what I mean? Because again, the outdoor booth on Friday closes down early. So have a list of what you want to see, where you want to go. For us, two other things that are really, really cool for kind of like YouTuber events. What is it? Thursday night is the GIE+EXPO rally. I'm hoping Naylor's doing it again this year. We'll have to stay tuned to see all that mess and
I
logistics.
think it's going on at the caverns.
Is it going again in the mega
I
caverns?
don't know. I guess
we don't know.
me.
We should have texted him. Or,
Yeah.
while we're talking about the Friday morning, there's the YouTuber influencer meetup panel. So
Right.
You want to talk about that for a second? I'm going to text
well,
Naylor.
it's going to be a really cool live panel that's also going to be on a podcast, from what I understand. So there's 3 hosts: Naylor, Caleb Allman, and then who else?
You have Sean Spencer, Corey Ballard.
Just the host, though.
Oh, Caleb.
Paul. Duh.
Caleb, Paul, and Naylor.
Yeah, and then the guests are Corey Ballard, the Spencers, or at least Sean Spencer.
Corey, Sean. We should have looked at this.
Terrible.
What are we doing right now?
I don't know.
This is what happens when you don't
I have an
have
excuse.
notes.
I am 9 months pregnant. My brain is not here.
Well, they have the influencer thing. I can look that up as well. I just texted Naylor. I said, "Hey, dude, I'm in a pinch Thursday night. Who's the meetup?" But so all that is Friday morning.
Friday morning. I think it starts at like 8 a.m.
It's early.
It's early. We were originally, you were going to be one of the hosts, but we decided not to with the baby. I don't know how sleep is going to be. So
yeah, it's just, I told Naylor, I said, we would love to do it, but
Yeah.
getting up at 8 in the morning with a baby and then getting over there and being fresh.
especially at the end of the week. And because you were a part of something similar like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it was really, really cool. You got to take questions from the audience. So if you have questions, you can ask the panel, and then you'll also be part of, obviously, the recording for the podcast too, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, I found it here on Naylor's Instagram. It's Alan Hain is
Thank
the other,
you. Okay.
and then also Jason Creel,
Duh.
which is awesome.
Got it.
That's worth seeing. Alan Hain's a brilliant dude. Jason Creel.
See, he's got that good Southern accent.
Jason Creel?
Yeah.
He does. You should go live in the South for 5 years and then come back and see how that works out for you.
People say we talk too fast, so maybe it'd make me more relatable if I had a Southern accent.
People will think that we're less salesy if we have a Southern accent.
Like Beth Moore style.
Beth Moore? Mm-hmm. I don't know who that is. Is that the preacher girl?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Well, some people know who she is. This podcast is literally everywhere right now. So let's do some quick takeaways. We'll just button it up. Yeah. Okay, so Thursday night the Mega Caverns meetup. If it goes on, it'll be like probably 6 to 10, 7 to 10, something like that on Thursday night. We're waiting for some confirmation with Naylor from the LCR Media podcast. Just keep up with our Instagram, Paul's Instagram, Naylor's Instagram. We'll let everybody know that. I think that should be happening. I wouldn't see why not.
Yeah.
But if not, downtown 4th Street Live.
Everybody's on 4th Street all the time.
It doesn't matter where you go or what you do. Everybody winds back up on 4th Street Live. And you know, they're having different concerts. And basically 4th Street Live, they took 2 blocks of the downtown city center and they made a glass roof that spans like the 2 different sections of the blocks.
It's really cool. And they set up a stage and there's
it's air conditioned
music singers that...
The outdoor spot is air conditioned and it's a lot of fun. They have a whole stage set up. It's like a permanent structure and they bring in tons of different bands. 2 years ago, Steel sponsored it with Mercedes-Benz and they threw out all my sponsorship brand deal money because they were just throwing down $20 hats left and right. And, you know, I called somebody, hey man, you want to do some sponsored content, you know, and sponsor the podcast?
Oh, the budget's just not there.
So, the budget's not there. And then we go to the live concert. I swear to God, they threw out 250 hats.
True.
And I'm just like, $20. I go, well, there goes my sponsorship money. I said, like, hello. I said, you gave out 200 hats. I said, we get 2,500 downloads on an episode of the podcast in a day. I said, you know what I'm saying? Like, put your money where the people are. What are you doing throwing out hats to the audience? And then Mercedes-Benz, I don't know. We don't get to work with Mercedes-Benz, but I was just, it's so fun. The budget's tight. Well, it is when you give away 250 stupid hats, you know, but God bless them. So any which way, everybody always gets back to 4th Street Live on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So there's tons of restaurants, by the way, like the Applebee's, the Fridays. Here's one thing I would always say. We try to suggest this everywhere we go. Like, be classy. You know, if you guys are around town, just realize like the hotel's dealing with an influx of people. The restaurants are dealing with an influx of people. Can you guys
especially right now because there's a shortage for staff everywhere. Yeah, so
you've seen the Instagram memes where it's like, be thankful that the servers that did come in. Yeah. Because I mean, it's tough getting people to man these restaurants, and guys, 25,000 people are going to dump into the city for 3 days. Yeah, there's going to be lines. There's going to be food's going to take an extra couple minutes. Like, just tip appropriately and accordingly, but be first class. You know, we don't want to be the people that come in and they're all like, you know,
all these landscapers ruin.
Yeah, all these bummy landscapers come in. We're trying to fight that stereotype. Leave a 20 spot. It's in October. You've already made your money for the year. Most of our bank accounts are swollen up by then. You're about to do your leaf cleanups and make another haul. Just be classy. Treat people right. You know, treat the hotel lady that takes care of your room. Oh, well, I don't have to tip her now because she only comes one time because it's per request versus them flipping the bed every night. Okay, well, that's cool, but you can still leave them a 20 spot for the maid that did come in. So we're very thankful.
And dealt with like 5 days worth of cleaning versus a little bit every
15 minutes a day.
Yeah.
So just be classy. That's our biggest suggestion. But for us, when are we coming in? We're coming in on Tuesday. We're going to be there all day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then we're still debating flying or driving.
I don't know. What's easier with a baby?
We don't know yet because we don't have a baby. We've never been here.
Babies have gear.
Yeah, so we made...
Here you have to bring stuff for them.
Yeah, supposedly. Like a bottle or something and some other things that...
Something to like sleep in or...
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, you got some equipment that you got to bring. So any which way, that's going to be really exciting because we're going to leave Friday afternoon about 4 o'clock. And by the way, here's one last thing I'll say. Some people don't go because they got work to do. And I get it. Like just talking to you guys practically speaking... Going to Expo is going to cost my family $500 to $1,000. I could stay home and make obviously a couple $1,000 working that week. Mm-hmm. I get it, guys. I get it. I don't have any skin in the game, like if you go or don't go. But what I will say is take some time for you. Take some time for your family. Make it a vacation. If you're already going to go for 3 days, take your wife. You already got the hotel room. Take the wife. Yeah. Take the kids. Recuperate a little bit.
Or if you're a single guy, you know, make some friends. And there's lots of people that will
Split rooms?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to get a $300 a night room by yourself. Go get 4 lawn bros, you and 3 guys, get 2 queens, no homo. And, and just, dude, whatever, go get 5 guys, pack a room and just hang out. And you get that cost for the room and everything down from.
Young and dumb Liz would have just slept in the car.
Yeah. I mean, we've done stuff like that. For sure. But a lot of us are like, well, I'm not going that week because I have a pruning job and I can make $800. I got a mowing and I can go make $600. I get it. The money is always going to be there. Like, for real, the work is always there in what we all do. And I mean, there's some simple marketing and passing out of flyers and you get some more work, or you call up some people and you can go drum up more work. Don't miss out on something that happens once a year. I say the same thing for Launchpreneur Academy. Oh yeah, but I can go do leaf cleanups and make $1,000 that day. Right. But the stuff you can learn, the people you meet, the networking that you make, that is going to pay a 10x, a 100x dividend long term. So sometimes you have to take time for events. You have to take time. We make it a priority. It's a non-negotiable, right? Like, it's that important to my company's future. Now we shut down the week for the company. We're even talking about taking Rob this year because he wants to just see the Louisville. He's never traveled. He wants to meet all of you guys, right? And we want to get him engrossed into the ecosystem of what we all do. And he wants to learn more. He's curious. So I know so many of you guys that bring your crews, you bring your foremen, you bring your family, and you bring 4 or 5, 10 guys, and you just go paint the town and have fun. Like, make it a priority.
If you're going to go, make it worth it.
Yeah.
And make it a priority to be there, and don't let your schedule rule you.
Yeah. I mean, and if you do want to just come Wednesday, Thursday, that's fine. And head back Friday. I get it.
You do not have to go for an entire week.
No, I don't. No, definitely not. We do just because of YouTube and other obligations. We want to meet so many people, and we just, the grass isn't growing very much up here in October.
No, it slows down usually.
Usually.
This season.
Yeah. Last 2 years, it had some pretty good growth. But that's one thing that I know a lot of people out there struggle with is, well, I got work to do. Dude,
Everybody does.
When have you not said, I got work to do? Like, that's something that...
It makes me question what else you let work get in the way of in your life, too, if your schedule is running you that hard. Like,
yeah,
I can't make, Christmas with my daughter because I
got a pruning job.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's real talk.
That's a whole other podcast for another day.
Well, and Mike Bedell, he would say the exact same thing. He had never went. He had never went until about 3 or 4 years ago, which I think I went, and then he came that next year. I'm like, dude, you got to see this thing. He goes, yeah, I go to MGIA, and he's been in the industry for 15 years or a decade at that point, very well respected. But he will tell you, if I called him up right now, he would say, I didn't know what I didn't know. And I'm glad I went and you just hyped it up. Fullerton, you hype up everything. He's like, I didn't know what I didn't know. And now he hasn't missed one sentence.
Well, it really helps you fight the burnout too.
Oh, totally. You get to just swap stories of battles of the season, and I had my employee quit. Oh yeah, why had my employee quit? And you stole something. So it's just a good time, but make time. Please make time. Like I sincerely want you guys to get there for you, and we wholeheartedly believe in it. And maybe you can't make the week commitment, but make a 2-day commitment. Go fly in or drive in early on Wednesday, see the Wednesday, Thursday show. Friday shuts down early anyway, and zip back. For us, we'll be there all week. And I know some of the folks listening in, they'll take Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah,
and
especially if you're making like a family trip out of it.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's enough to us to do around downtown Louisville. So, all right. Anything else that we missed?
Maybe some practical tips for what to bring with you to the show.
Bullet round. You go fast.
Okay. So I suggest bringing a backpack with a refillable water bottle.
Okay.
Comfortable shoes. Like, my first year I tried to dress all cute and I was absolutely miserable. So now it's like leggings and jeans and like sneaks.
Yep.
Layers like we talked about with maybe the weather, look, depending on
long sleeve or a jacket. Maybe if it gets cold, you never know. I've seen Louisville at 60 degrees. We've seen it at 90 degrees. 2 years ago or 3 years ago, it was like 90 degrees on that first day, and I was like, dude, we were dripping. In the parking lot.
I would just for me personally, I always bring Excedrin and just Tums for us to just have because
True.
You eat a lot of gross food and you don't drink enough water.
Keep a case of water in the trunk. For your vehicle.
I like refillable water bottles.
That works.
I don't like warm.
Yeah,
water.
I like warm water, which is weird.
You are weird.
I like room temperature warm water.
And then snacks. Like bring some snacks with you. Like
Yeah.
especially guys, if you're bringing your wife, and you bring her and you don't prepare her and she gets thrown into this environment. She's wearing cute shoes. You're expecting her to walk miles. She's miserable. She has no food or water, and all that's there is like stadium food. She's going to be miserable.
Yeah.
So don't do that to her.
Bring your vitamins and all that stuff too, because you are going to eat, cardboard pizza, 3 days in a row, because like the food's somewhat good, but it's also, it's a concession stand food, at the show. Around town at night, there's good places to go. But yeah, I love what you just said there. Like, bring good snickety snacks. We call them snickety snacks. Good walking shoes and running shoes. Don't bring sandals. You're gonna get your feet killed. You're literally walking all day. And I think that's what we got. By the way, keep up with different folks on Instagram real time. I know folks will be sharing where they're at. We're going to do a meetup at the Xmark booth, probably 10 or 11 a.m. on Thursday morning. That's usually our big thing. Xmark invites us in. Last year, there was like 300 people there for an hour. And guys, for real, I don't care if it takes an hour and a half to 2 hours to meet and say hey to every single person there. I want to meet you. I want to say hey. This is the one time a year besides our event where I actually get to meet all of you guys. And that fills me up. Like, it's like, I want to hear your story. Dude, I had one mower, now I got two, and we had one account, now we got 50.
We're trying to keep it super hang loose this year too, obviously, with having the baby and things like that. We're trying to not make too many scheduled commitments.
No, we have none.
Yeah, other than the
Xmark.
Yeah.
Which I thoroughly love getting to check them out. By the way, maybe they got some new equipment there, so can't say anything else about that. But so it'll be a little reveal party there as well. But we'll be there Friday first thing, Thursday morning. That's usually where we start. It's right through the main doors, main gates. The last thing I'll say is have a positive attitude and have some fun. Okay, like, it's going to be frustrating between parking and like I said, traffic. Keep a good attitude. Be a pressure relief valve for people. Maybe somebody else is having a blowout of some capacity. Like, just try to calm people down. Just hang out, have fun. It's a good time. It should not be a time to be stressful. It's a time to have fun. And I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited. I missed it last year. I really did.
Hey, one last thing. Please be respectful. This is a big last thing. My second to last thing, right? My big thing is also be respectful of the people that work the show. If you're bringing a camera or a GoPro or you want to video something for YouTube or podcast, don't be a douchebag.
Not everybody's comfortable with a camera shoved in their face.
Yeah, don't walk into a booth thinking you're hot shot, Joe Cool, YouTuber, or your podcast, or you go grab Ed Wright and throw a camera in his face. Ed, say something successful. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Like I've seen too many people do that. Don't go pop wheelies on mowers out in the outdoor demo area. You're not cool. You're a douchebag. Don't do that. And there's people that did that and they thought it was funny and cool. And I don't think that's funny and cool. I don't think it's very respectful. So don't do that. And you're not cool if you want to get an Instagram highlight reel and then tell everybody how you get kicked out of a booth. How about don't be a jerk? So respect these people. They deal with all different folks like all day long. They're tired. They're on their feet. By Friday, everybody's voice is gone. It's coarse. Voice. Everybody's
voice is gone.
I was trying to talk Southern.
What is that? That's not even Southern.
I was trying to talk Southern. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be classy. Let's have fun. Let's keep it cool. But just be respectful. Like don't be tearing up zero-turn mowers out there. Well, man, it's a demo. It's a rental. I don't care. Don't be that guy. I just hate that. So I always say, like, be respectful and be classy. Cringy.
Yeah, don't be
cringe. All right. Well, I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Is that Southern?
Maybe we should do an entire episode where we just
talk Southern.
Speak with a Southern accent.
I think that's like pandering.
It's not pandering.
It's not pandering.
It's like American culture.
You're gonna appropriate the Southern culture now by talking like this?
I have family from the South.
Yeah, who's that? Jason Creel?
They're all dead.
Wow, okay then. All right, well, this is, hopefully these ratings go through the roof.
This is like, after this, Mr. Bruce never have her out again. This job is terrible. What the heck are you guys doing?
What if he edits you totally out of the show?
I wouldn't blame him.
Well, if the ratings go up, we can thank you and Mr. Producer. If the ratings go down, I can blame Mr. Producer.
Me and Mr. Producer.
All right, well, that's what we do here. We like to have fun, and we just keep it light. But I really do sincerely hope that this gives you guys a little bit more of the lay of the land of GIE+EXPO. It's a great time. We're definitely going to be there. Use the code in the description. Save 50% off. I think it's code Brian at checkout. There'll also be a link. And use somebody else's code if they help you or so into you and they help you get there. I don't care. Just go. It'll be a really fun time. And then just remember, a month after is our event. So don't spend all your money in Louisville buying a Louisville Slugger baseball baseball bat. Make sure for $100. Okay, put that money towards your Launchpreneur Academy ticket.
Do we have those dates and stuff available?
Launchpreneur Academy,
Yeah.
November 13th. So tickets will go on sale here by the end of July. So we're getting all that logistically figured out as we speak. And
do you have a room block yet?
nothing like that.
Okay.
You're getting way ahead of it. You say that, and then I get 50 DMs. Hey, dude, I couldn't find the hotel rooms on the website. I'm like, they're not available yet. And then people call the hotel, and the hotel yells at me saying, hey, people are calling for the room block and that it's not public yet. And I'm like, so stop it.
I'm just trying to get everything figured out before the baby gets here.
Baby brain. Okay. Well, we're here's the last thing from Naylor. The rally is going to be at a new venue this year.
Oh.
And I don't know if I'm supposed to read this out loud. Okay, looks like the caverns are struggling to bounce back from the pandemic.
Oh, that's sad.
Well, that would be not good if they're not there anymore. So it looks like there is a distillery with a large space and some indoor space. So
nice. Okay.
Follow along on Instagram. That's actually good real time. Got that in.
Yeah.
So follow Naylor, follow all that, and you'll hear it through the grapevine. And that's what we got.
For Thursday night meetup.
That's the Thursday night meetup.
Okay.
All right, cool deal. All right, guys. Anything else you got, babe?
No.
This is good?
Yeah.
When
When is this going out?
ASAP this week.
Oh, okay.
Can you do your best Southern sign off and then kick it over to Mr. Producer?
Thank you all for listening to Fullerton. We not do this, actually. You never go full retard.
What are you doing right now? Nothing. This is your sign off. Let's try it one more time. Go ahead.
Bye, y'all.
All right, y'all. We'll catch you on the rebound, and this was a good time.
I hope this isn't offensive.
It's not. I hope not. But I love hearing Southern people talk.
The thing is, when I go to Louisville and I'm around like Southern people, I somehow start to talk with a Southern accent.
We really do.
I was in Michigan my entire life.
Should we tell them
you can tell when I'm doing a Beth Moore study because
You do. You literally come back from Bible study talking Southern. I'm like, what are you doing? Should we talk about the quick story about my mom as a cabbie?
Oh, your mom is...
Is that weird?
I think it means that she's an empathetic person, like psychologically. But your mom, no matter who she's talking to, adopts whatever accent. If you didn't know her, she would sound very racist.
My mom's like an angel, right? Like she was a cabbie, so she'd pick up people at the airport, and so if she picked up an Indian lady, she would adopt an Indian accent. If she picked up an African American black person, she would adopt like kind of some swag from that.
Yeah.
If she picked up a white person, she like just mirror, like it's like an old like sales technique, like to mirror somebody. So she would just like. We would go to dinner, and before she had just like picked up an Indian person, she'd be like, "What I would order today?" I would. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I don't even know." And I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "Oh, I had this Indian person I picked up from the airport." And she'll continue the accent for like another hour.
Yeah.
And but I'm like, Mom, that's like, it's like you can't do that. That's like she picked up a Hispanic person with like some Spanish, and. She'd be like, "Oh, no.
I'm not any better, apparently.
Me neither. But I'm like, Mom, you can't do that.
I think it means you're like empathetic. Like you're trying to be relatable. And like make them comfortable.
Comfortability. I couldn't say that word on my podcast the other day. All right. We're buttoning up right here. Guys, this is another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. This is what happens when you get to put your wife on a bouncy ball. My dog's going crazy like Cujo in here.
A bouncy ball. It's it's like a yoga ball. You bounce on it to get labor going.
I wish people could hear the sound effect of it just squeaking right now on the hardwood floor. It's like, All right. Well, guys, let's kick it over to Mr. Producer in the ATL. We'll button this thing up. Teddy, what are you doing, bud? You wrapping this up? Wrap it up. Say hey. Oh. Speak. All right. Well, there you go. That's my dog, Teddy. And he said, podcast over. All right, guys. Over and out for this episode of Fullerton Unfiltered. Look forward to catching up with you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Can I get you something?
It's your mofo butter laying me to the bone, jacking me up. Tight me.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Cuddy say can't hang.
Oh, stewardess, I speak jive.
Oh, good.
He said that he's in great pain and he wants to know if you can help him.
All right, would you tell him to just relax and I'll be back as soon as I can with some medicine.
Just hang loose, blood. She's gonna catch up on the rebound on the med side.
What it is, Big Mama? My mama didn't raise no dummies. I duck a rap.
Cut me some slack, Jack.
Say cutting the tail. We say be doing everything wrong.
Chump don't want to help. Chump don't get the
Say
help.
can't hang. Say 7 Up.
Jive ass dude don't got no brains anyhow.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.